I try to approach Eskrima like pugilism. I train the same way I train in Thai boxing when it comes to Eskrima and stick fighting, because in the end, I feel like I am just a pugilist with a stick when I'm training Eskrima. So in pugilism, there are a few main ingredients besides one very important ingredient, which is fitness, body weight exercises, calisthenics, plyometrics. These are all part of a pugilist everyday training, along with running and things like that. And while I don't run, I do what I can to stay as fit as I can as an older athlete. Using the term athlete is kind of tongue-in-cheek because I'm not a competitive athlete anymore, but I train like I am to the best of my ability. So one of the main ingredients that kickboxers and boxers and Muay and MMA fighters use is shadow boxing. In Eskrima, we term this carenza or ensayo. I do ensayo every day almost. There is very few days I don't get out with my stick or my sticks or my knives and don't do a little movement. My movements include offense, defense, as well as constant footwork, constantly moving and changing my angles, not staying in one spot. Staying in one spot is a sure way to get hit in Eskrima. And when it comes to getting hit without armor and a helmet, this sucks. So this could be very catastrophic if you're fighting another person with a weapon. So I try to keep constantly moving, in constant motion. I train to hit hard and move into my strikes for the most part. And honestly, it is the DeCampo system that has most of my training application these days. Now here I am working on a heavy bag, or a target I should say, striking dummy. This is my heavy bag when it comes to sticks, and I love hitting this anatomical dummy. It is a great target. Striking targets, striking heavy bags, striking pads is a huge part of every pugilist training. In fact, it is one of the most important ingredients in training. All of the ingredients that I am going to show today matter a lot. I think it's hilarious when people show bag work and some dumb shit in the comments goes, "Bags don't hit back." And meanwhile, every fucking fighter in the world hits targets and bags. These dimwits always have something to say and never anything to offer in their own channels. I just don't have time for them. And I would like to give one of them a jab in the throat like I just gave my dummy. In case you're wondering, I'm just kidding. But this is an important part of training, as is this partner drills, cooperative drilling, stuff like this that allows us to play and train and get used to bridging and getting into close range and clinch range. Yes, this is not a fight. And there's going to be some dummy in the comments who's going to say something like that. And all I got to say to that guy is go fuck yourself. Just quit showing off that you're stupid and quit commenting. But anyway, let's get on with this. These partner drills are very important for your development, and they have a lot to offer, and some of them really help you get ready for this kind of thing, which is sparring. Sparring is, for me, probably the most important drill you can do. But sparring is not fighting. People get confused. When I'm sparring, the most important person in the room is not me. It's not my goals. Although I do have goals that I set for the sparring, because having something you want to accomplish while you spar is a great way to feel like you've won in quotation marks in sparring. There is no winner in sparring. There is only development. There's a lot of misconceptions about sparring. It is not a fight. It is a playful way of educating yourselves on how to better fight, giving yourselves the ability to time a defense, time an attack, use fakes, use baits, get in and out, change your range, get into the clinch. You know, if you do ground fighting, you could take this to the ground, you could throw, you can trip. There's so much you can do. But when it comes to learning self-control, sparring is one of the best mediums for it, because you have to put aside your ego. You have to put aside your desire to win, per se. Because when you just want to win, it means you don't want to take care of the other person, and you have to. When you just want to win, you will be so focused on that, you won't experiment with risky techniques. You won't stick to being playful. It'll escalate into hard sparring, which isn't productive and is not a way of staying respectful with each other. So while hard sparring has its place, you should be able to stick to light sparring when it's agreed upon for it to be light sparring. You should be able to stick to the rules of engagement and control yourself, and not let your ego make you need to win, because that is just a selfish thing. So there will always be failure in sparring, and you have to accept that failure. You're not going to win every exchange, especially when it comes to stick sparring or sparring with training knives. If you think you're going to win every exchange because you have more experience than the other guy, this is just being greedy. And also, it is a way to shut down people from having the desire to spar. So if you have to win every exchange, if you have to impose your will all the time, if you're not willing to give your opponent opportunity to strike you, to leave something open so they see the opening, you're not helping your partners develop. And you may say, well, it's not my job to help my partners develop. Well, if you want to have better partners and you want to have better people to spar, you better get them up to your level as quick as possible. And some of the younger, more athletic ones, people with more reach than you, will definitely become better than you, right? So I'm 5'7". There's a lot of guys with reach on me. If I want them to stay at a level where I can still beat them, I'm not a good coach. I should hang up my coach's certificates and just stick to being a student. And obviously, I'll probably, if I have that attitude, if someone has that attitude, they will avoid sparring people who are better at it than them. And this is a sure way to stagnate your development. So if you keep it playful and you don't put your ego into it, you don't put your need to win, per se, and you develop different ways of winning. By this I mean, okay, I'm going to try and land a strike to Gerald's thigh. If I manage to land that strike, then I won that round. If Gerald said, I'm going to take out Joel's alive hand, I'm going to try and get a good hit on his alive hand, or, whatever, his kneecap. I'm going to hit him right in the shoulder, which would be a neck shot if I wasn't being careful. Then those kinds of things are a win for Gerald. If you do sparring right, everybody wins. However, if you do sparring right as well, you should feel sometimes like you lost. And your sparring partner got the best of you. Because if you don't feel that way once in a while, you're not sparring with the right people. You're not sparring with the right group. And if you're the instructor of that group, you're holding back on what you're teaching. And you're not letting your students develop, because students with better physicality than you, who are taller, stronger, faster, younger, you know the drill, should become better fighters than you if you are their instructor and you are not holding back. When I was training competitive kickboxers, a lot of the kickboxers I trained, of course, could kick my ass because I'm old. And if I wasn't training people to be better than me, to stay at my level, then as I got older and older, I would have less and less functional fighters. And that's not what I want. I want fighters to leave my gym who are capable, fighters that I train who are able to throw down and use their skills. So don't be greedy in sparring, and if you are an instructor, don't be one of these idiots who believes that he can be top dog on the mats no matter what, because you will get older. You will age. And if you don't make sparring fun instead of being a contest between you and your students, then you will stagnate their development and your development, all out of ego, all out of the desire to be some sort of unrealistic tough guy. The fighter in the green vest here is very unorthodox, and it's fun to have people like that in the gym. He came for a visit and I let him spar, and we had a lot of fun because he was very respectful and played in a very nice way. So if you have good people, you surround yourself with good people, sparring will always be a lot of fun and educational. Now, this young man in the brown shirt here, he's not very experienced, but he's game and he's young and he's athletic. So these are good people to spar against, because the less experienced people have, the more unorthodox their attacks will be. Now, Jack is getting good. He's been training with me for a while. He has lots of martial arts experience, but not a lot of Eskrima experience. So he comes at me on weird angles. He will always wrestle. He will always clinch. When we knife spar, a lot of times it turns into a wrestling match. And because Jack's fit and strong, it's a lot of fun, but hard work. And I won't risk my body with everybody because, those injuries pile up. But I have trained with this young man long enough to build trust. And trust is a huge part of sparring. You have to trust your sparring partners. If you don't trust each other, then there's a problem and your sparring will be out of control, or it already is because you lack trust. Keep things controlled, keep things fun, keep things experimental, and you will have excellent sparring. All right, if you like stuff like this, videos on martial arts, training philosophy, knife combatives, stick combatives, and other things, please support my Patreon. Thank you.